Welcome to this grammar lesson. This lesson will be split into two different parts. Part 1 will be discussing should and shouldn't, and in part 2 we'll be discussing how to make statements using its plus adjective plus infinitive. Okay, let's begin with part 1, should and shouldn't. When do we use should and shouldn't? Or when should we use it? We use it to say something that is necessary or unnecessary, or to give a piece of advice. Shouldn't and shouldn't is also known as modal or auxiliary verbs. Here are some modal and auxiliary verbs that we use on a day-to-day basis. But for this lesson, we're going to be focusing on should and shouldn't. Here is the form that we're going to be using with should and shouldn't. So you'd need to have the subject first, then you would include should or shouldn't, plus the base form of the verb. So for example, you would have any of these pronouns, I, you, he, she, we, you or they, plus should or shouldn't, and then the base form of the verb. So in this case, I should learn. So that would be subject, should or shouldn't, plus the base form of the verb. I should learn the departure time for your flight. Or, in a negative sense, we can use any of these again, or any subject, you can use a name. We shouldn't take too many books on a journey. You could also say Muhammad shouldn't take too many books on a journey, or Fatima shouldn't take too many books on a journey. So you can use any subject. Okay, please take note that shouldn't is a contraction of should plus not. Right, now it's your turn to practice. Look at these base form verbs in this box, and I want you to read the sentences and fill the gaps with one of the three. Take a moment and read those sentences and fill the gaps with the base form verbs that I've given you. Okay, let's do the first one together. You something smoking. So we've got the subject, we need to add should or shouldn't, plus the base form of the verb. What can we put here? You should stop smoking. So you've got should, you've got the subject, you've got should, and stop, which is the base form of the verb. Okay, next one. She something her purse on the counter. She shouldn't leave her purse on the counter. Good. And lastly, we have we something indoors as much as possible. We should stay indoors as much as possible. Good. Right, now part 2 of this grammar video, we're going to be talking about making statements. In this case, we're going to be making statements to talk about behavior and customs. And some ways of doing that is to begin with its, then to add an adjective with not if it's negative, plus an infinitive. Remember, an infinitive is to plus the base form of the verb, like to eat, to drink, to walk, to see, and so on. Okay, let's have a look at some examples. It says here, it's rude to ask about female members of the family. So again, we're talking about behavior or customs. So you've got its to begin with, plus the adjective, plus the infinitive, to ask. Okay? It's common to kiss the cheek 3 times upon greeting. So again, you've got its, then you've got the adjective, plus the infinitive, and then the rest of the sentence. And many more. Please note, its is the contraction of its plus is. Okay, now it's your turn to practice. What I want you to do is to have a look at these adjectives and have a look at the infinitives and fill the gaps of these sentences. You can pause the video and have a good read. Thereafter, we'll be doing them together. Okay, so the first one, we've already got its, so all we need is an adjective. So it's polite to say thank you. You can also say it's common to say thank you, or it's okay to say thank you. But it's more befitting to say it's polite because it is polite to say thank you. The next one, it's common to wear sandals. So common, or it's okay. Yeah. Or in some places, you can say it's not common. Again, the infinitives are here to be used in what's befitting. And the last one, it's rude to point at someone. So here you have rude and the infinitive point. So it's rude to point to someone. Well done. Okay, for extra practice now, I want you to go to your Q Skills 1 book, Listening and Speaking, Unit 2, page 35. Okay, so on page 35, exercise A is asking you, what do you know about customs from around the world? Circle should or shouldn't. So take a guess around the world what you think are customs from these countries. Then you can listen to the excerpt and check your answers. Pause the video and complete this exercise. Thereafter, the answer key will be provided. Here is the answer key for Activity A, page 35. Pause the video and check your answers. Okay, now I want you to go to page 36 and complete Activity B. It says, what are things you should or shouldn't do in your culture? So we need you to write 2 sentences with should and 2 sentences with shouldn't. Obviously, you would need to do this exercise by yourself. For exercise B, there is no answer key because the answers will vary. I want you to move on to grammar part 2. Now for exercise A, you need to listen to the excerpts from listening 2. Fill in the blanks with the missing information. Thereafter, the answer key will be provided. Here is the answer key for Activity A on page 36 and 37. Please pause the video and check your answers. For further practice, please go to your LMS. Thank you for watching this grammar video.